Hi all, good evening. Now I'll let you know how to create the database connections in Eclipse. Okay, so before going into that, what we have to do is you just type dev.mysql downloads connector /j. This I can give it in the description. So this particular link, and then you can go to the operating system where you can select platform independent and you can download the zip archive. Okay, you can just download this. So here it will just you can just select no thanks, just start my download. You can just download it. So once it is downloaded, it will be there in your downloads. So you can just go to your downloads. You can see that it will be there as a zip file. You can extract it. You can see that there is a jar file here. Okay, so this jar file is important. So what you can do is you can in the downloads you can just extract all. So it will take some time to extract. So once it is extracted, you can just check that there is a jar file. Okay, you can keep that jar file. You can copy that and so if you have your program file, you can go to this PC C colon. If you have the program files, in program files you have Eclipse. If you have, wherever you are storing it, there you can save that jar file. That once wherever you are storing it, we can just check and store that particular Java jar file. Okay, now what we will do is just open Eclipse. So you can, I'm just creating a JDBC connectivity as a workspace and then I'm launching it. So here you can just you can go to help, check the about Eclipse. You can see that it is version is 2024 6. Okay, so that is the version. So that you can, what you can do is go to MySQL. You can go to Eclipse releases. Okay, so I will just give you the link for you so that you can go to your browser. I'll put it in the so here you can just select only the releases. Okay, download.eclipse.org releases. If you just check, these are the Eclipse downloads. So as I told you, 2024 6 version, you can select on to that. Okay, so whatever you are getting here, okay, this particular link, that is your releases link which you are using in the Eclipse. So this particular download.eclipse releases, this particular thing You have to select it and then you have to put it there. For downloading the database development, you have to check your version, and based on your version, you have to click on this particular link. So I'm just copying that link and I'm going to Eclipse, where I go to Windows, Perspective, Open Perspective, Other. In that, you have to have Java database development. Okay. Since it is not there, what we have to do is we have to add that development here. Okay. So for that, in order to have that perspective database development here, we have to go to help again, install new software. In this work with the site, I just copied that releases, 2024 version. That thing I have to copy it here. So once when I copy the releases here, 2024 6, you can see that database development will be there. You can select this database development, click on next. So it will be fetching all the requirements and dependencies which is required for the database connection. So it will take some time because it is fetching all the content what is required for web developing. So once it is selected, the connectivity database development, you can click on next. You accept the license agreement and you can finish it. So once the database development has been created, you can open your Eclipse and you can create a new Java project. You can name it as MyDB project. You can name it like this, and then you can just finish it. So the project will be created, and then you can go to Window, Open Perspective, Other. You can see the database development. So that database development you can open. So it will be opened. So what I have done already is I have created a database. So I'll just show to you. So I have created a database called test. Okay. So I'm using it use test and show tables. In that I have created a table student. Now what I'm going to do is I'll just see what are I have inserted some values also. So select asterisk from student. So you can see that there are two rows which has been created. So this is there in MySQL. Okay. So now what I'm just checking is I'm going to the database connections. I'm going new database connection. Here I'm going to select MySQL. Next. Here in this drivers, it is empty here. You go add this one, new driver. Here you just maximize it so that you can see that whatever drivers are available. Select MySQL 5.1. Okay. And then go to jar list. Okay, already I told you that I have downloaded the jar list. I will give you the link in the description. So what you have to do is you have to go add the jar. So in my DB project, you have to add the jar file. So inside the jar file, you have this particular, so you copy this jar file and then you go to your program files, users, admin. You can see that Eclipse will be there, Eclipse workspace. So in that B is the workspace. In that I have my DB project. I'm just copying it here, pasting it here. Okay, the jar file. So that jar file, after you paste it in the particular folder, click on that and open. So it will come here. This previous one you can just remove. This is the one which you have created as of now. So that you have to click on OK. And then you know that our database is test. Okay, just put test. If you want, you can just confirm it, the name here, test. Okay, so go to the Excel, put test. Test is the database, and the URL is also test. Give the password which you have given for creating MySQL. Okay, and then just test connection. So once this ping succeeded comes, that means your connection is succeeded. So you can just finish it. Okay, so that has been added here. You can see that MySQL. And in test, you can see the schemas. In test, you can see tables. Student is there. And you have columns. These are the columns which are there in the students table. Okay. Now what you have to do is, you can create a Java project. Okay. So for that, we have to check for the package explorer. So package explorer, in this my project, I'm going to create new class file, Java class file. Next. So in that class file, I'm just creating JdbcTest or connect Jdbc connection test, con test, and then I'm creating a class file. Okay. So what you can do is, I have already typed some program. I've kept it, so I'm just copying and pasting because time is not enough now to explain. So I'm just I have a code. So that what I'm doing is I'm pasting it here. So I'm just test JDBC connection test. Okay. So here what you have to do is you have to do two things. Okay. So this is the program where you have to correct. First one is the step one where you have to use the driver manager for connection, where you have to add this local host and your database name. Okay. So after adding the database name, what you have to do is you have to give the root and the password. So this has been done in the MySQL when you are downloading, when you might have set the password, username as root and password, you might have given something that you have to give it. And then here, after that, the connection, you have to create the statement for the connection. And then you have to use the string select register. I'm just selecting two columns from there, register number and age from the student, and I'm printing it. Then I have to execute the query by ResultSet rset is equal to statement.execute query. So whatever this query str select, that will be executed. So then you're just the record selected are you're using, and then the row count is equal to 0. Then what you do is you just print that. In order to print that, get that string and print it. So there will be many rows. So you can just put plus plus row count so that the rows, how many rows are there in the MySQL, that will be taken and it will be printed. Okay. You just save it and then you just run it. So if you are getting this particular error, SQL exception, that means that get connection, you just check it whether any connectivity issues are there. You just connect it and see. Even though if you are getting this error, then you have to build path. Okay. So go to the package explorer. In this particular my project, go to build path, configure build path. Okay, configure build path, projects, you have module path and class path. So you go to libraries. Okay. Add external jars. So this jar file, again you have to add it. Okay. In the class path or the module path, you can in the class path also you can add this jar file. Okay. Once you apply it, you save it and then run the program. So you can see here, once that is done, that statement whatever you have given is select register number and the records are fetched from the MySQL. So you can see that MySQL there are two register numbers and age that is being fetched here. Okay, so this is how you will do the connectivity program in Java database. So you can hope so you have understood this particular connectivity with, by MySQL and JDBC. Thank you.